Welcome back to another episode of Scryer's Room. I'm your host, Famfare.
I'm Kevin.
I'm Mario.
Sorry, excuse me. Again, I'm Jesse. I'm Grimtones. I'm Grim.
Yes, sir. Yes, he is. And today we're going to talk about Space Marine 2.
Fucking so tight.
Yeah, they did an excellent job. They did
so tight.
It's pretty high octane shit.
It's
I'm pretty surprised considering Space Marine 1 didn't have a lot of fanfare around it.
One of THQ's last games.
Yeah?
Yeah, for the one under.
That's a lot more than I know about Space Marine 1. No, I played through most of Space Marine 1. I don't remember. It was so long ago. But it was mainly verse orcs. In the PvE.
The orc war bosses, I've talked to Mario about this in depth. They nailed it.
It's the only thing I know about that game is how awesome that war boss is.
Yeah. That was so tight. But then now is like, it's like, I don't know, a couple hundred years later, Titus got put into the Death Watch.
Yeah.
And then he's coming out and he gets put back in the Ultramarines.
Right, they got to paint him blue again for the action figure sales.
They have to. They have to.
Obligatory.
But by the end of it, I was like, you get to like load up your equipment before you go in, right?
Yeah.
And like in 40K, you can't ever do this, but in the video game, I had the fucking Thunder Hammer, plasma pistol, plasma incinerator, just geared the fuck out.
Armed to the teeth, brother.
And then, like,
to fight these evil bugs.
Those fucking Tyranids. You're just taking the hammer and you're just swinging it through fucking Tyranids and bashing the fucking bugs. So I'm playing it at the same time that I'm watching the Vince McMahon documentary on Netflix. Yeah. So it's all in my head there.
So all the toxicity can really soak in.
The fucking hyper masculine, like, I'm gonna fucking die on the field of battle, don't question anything, and then just like, oh, I'm gonna fuck this bitch! Like, it was all there.
Hell yeah, brother.
I'm gonna fucking kill these bugs with this fucking war! And oh my god, it was just so satisfying, just slogging through waves of Tyranids with this Thunderhammer, and they just explode into pink mist. It was amazing, dude.
So I'm happy you mentioned the Thunderhammer. I was on Twitter, and there's one of the folks I follow brought up something that was very appalling to me. It's an observation I made. The IP is called Warhammer.
Yeah.
There's a distinct lack of Warhammers in 40K.
True.
There are the Thunderhammers,
True.
which we have that Space Marine 2 showcasing it. They're doing a great job, but they've been actually phasing them out of the mini lines. Like, less and less Space Marines have Thunderhammers every edition, and you know, Warhammer Fantasy, there is the Warhammer, the Gosmeral, or whatever the fuck it's called.
Right. It's like how Lord of the Rings. It's not crawling with rings of power, but there's one that's pretty important.
Yeah. There is a Lord of Rings, and then even in like, oh my god, I should not.
He's a gassy boy.
Mario got me those fucking sodas. I just can't. I drink way too fast.
You punished half that Coke, and it's coming back for vengeance.
Hell yeah.
God. But I even remember like the fucking Renfair actors in the Empire Army had like a bunch of Warhammers. Like you had a whole block of dudes with Warhammers in fantasy.
Yep. Knights of the White Wolf all use Warhammers. The Emperor Karl Franz has the Warhammer, the Gosmeral, which is like a dwarven forged weapon. The skull, I think it's Skull Splitter, and like it's about Warhammer. It's about the Warhammer. Whereas 40K is like, Emperor's dead. He doesn't have a Warhammer. He can't do backflips. He can't kick up walls. He's white trash.
Yeah. There's no Warhammers, much less 40,000 of them.
Dude.
Yeah.
Okay, but here's the thing about Space Marine 2, which I think really, they captured it really well as opposed to the first Space Marine game, was just the power of a fucking Space Marine. Mm-hmm. Like, we always talk, like, 8 feet tall, they got 2 hearts, 3 penises, 2 livers, they spit, Or
spit acid, that's the one, spit acid.
Spit acid
exactly.
and shit bullets.
Yeah, that one thing they can do, everyone forgets they can do.
Yeah, exactly. And but like, you walk through the ship, and they've got, like, these, like gay little guardsmen that are standing, they like kneel before you as you walk by them, and you're just like, oh my god, I am Jesus Christ. And it's fucking tight. And so then just to have that, and then it's just you and like 2 other Giga Chads come down, and you're just killing fucking bugs, and then you're saving like a force of like 40,000 Cadians that are like just cannot get rid of these Tyranids, and you just come in and you're like, All right, next. Like, you really get the feel for the sheer power of the Space Marine. It's really fucking tight.
So one change they made that I haven't even played the game yet, and I know it was a great change. Mm-hmm. So they were originally going to have the game centered around 4, because the Horde mode and like the multiplayer modes were 4 members in Space Marine 1. And they distinctly said, we're cutting it down to 3 so that we can accurately give the feel of what it feels like to be a Space Marine. If we had 4 people, we'd have to tone the power down a little bit, and then you wouldn't really feel like a Space Marine, because you'd be a little, like, nerfed. And the choice to have 3 guys, they fucking nailed it, man. I haven't heard a single person, like, not enjoy ripping and tearing as a Space Marine.
Okay, side tangent, but still 40K related.
Yeah.
So I'm on all these, like, 40K meme groups on Facebook, and I'm on Facebook primarily because I'm a fucking boomer.
Hell yeah.
Same, brother.
Yeah. You're a fucking boomer!
We're here for memes.
Shut up, you boomer! Oh, I was watching a 4-minute compilation of Vince McMahon just yelling, shut up! Shut up!
It doesn't shock me at all that they could just take every instance of that and it's well over 4 minutes.
It was like, here's Vince McMahon going, shut up. Yeah, but, fuck. Okay, so yeah, I'm a boomer. I'm on Facebook. I got all these 40K meme groups I'm in. And, dude, like, you've probably known this for longer than I have. But the fucking alt-right has been, like, infiltrating our hobby.
Oh, dude. Alright, so
they're attracted to any power fantasy. And unfortunately, this one has a lot of fashy imagery that I really like.
Yeah. It was because they missed the point.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's the thing. Yeah. There's a current battle on Twitter right now that I've been witnessing firsthand, where these chuds are like, it's not satire. You're actually stupid if you think 40K is satire.
Yeah.
Motherfucker, these people grew up in Margaret Thatcher era London. Like, so literally in Space Marine, when that female droning voice is just saying totalitarian, like, utterings throughout the game, that's making fun of Margaret Thatcher, you stupid dumbass!
It could be the ghost of Thatcher herself.
Yeah. They're trying to chant, like Gazgul Mac Urathraka, Margaret Thatcher. Like, literally.
Oh, I didn't know that!
Literally! They're making fun of Margaret Thatcher. They're making fun of the entire era of their miserable British lives.
That's cool, Thraga. The green monster that doesn't fucking die.
Yeah!
That's so funny.
I mean, she's dead. Thatcher's dead now, but, like, she had a very long run.
It took us quite a while to figure out how to slay her.
Yeah, dude, that was a dragon that...
Okay, so I'm in all these 40K meme groups. God damn it,
Mario. Hell yeah.
Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. Oh, God.
You're welcome.
Right. And I start, like, I'm going, like, on my Facebook, like, shorts, like, going through the clips and stuff like that. And I start getting, like, Daily Wire.
Oh, God,
like, ads, like, for, like, what is a woman? And, like, all that shit. And I'm like, oh, no. It thinks because I like 40K.
No.
That I'm a fucking conservative.
Yep.
But it's...
What?
Yeah.
It does that.
It's happening.
Oh, those chuds!
Bending.
Nothing is sacred!
I know.
So the way to counteract that is what you need to do right from there is like the moment you get one of those, you go right into a different meme group that is like all trans people who are just like, we're making jokes about girls having dicks, and
exactly.
And then it just evens out your algorithm for a little bit. It's like Blade taking the serum so he doesn't need to drink blood.
Exactly. Yeah.
Also, just on how much they missed the point is just like, okay, 40K didn't start as 40K, all right?
Right, Road Trader.
Yeah,
right.
Which was like a fucking huge joke, like
Manifest Destiny.
Like
the game.
but it also just like before orcs were just orcs, and then before the Eldar were the Eldari. They were space elves.
Yeah.
Space orcs.
They
just
made
put
it to space
in front of.
Yeah. Admech were space dwarves, and they rode tricycles because they're tiny. I'm not even joking. They had trikes.
They were pretty sick though.
They were sick, nasty as fuck. But they were still a joke.
Cut to
it's only after it made money that it became serious.
Right. Cut to the dudes in wherever the fuck England in the 80s just banging beer, and they all have fetal alcohol syndrome because all their mom drank. They're like, right, Vin, let's make a game, Vin. Right, we got orcs, but in space, what should we call them? Space orcs? Brilliant!
Fetal alcohol syndrome at the time, of course, was called a healthy birth weight over there.
Exactly. Yeah.
God
so a bunch of guys with fetal alcohol syndrome made a satire about fascism, and then we have all these fucking ugh.
Well, I mean, a key component of the fascist mind is that they don't understand satire.
Their reading comprehension skills are subpar at best.
One lends itself to the other.
Yeah. And so, but that's another thing Space Marine 2 does really well, is they just show, like, what a fucking boner Space Marines have for the Emperor, because everything is just like, the Emperor protects. Oh God, Emperor.
Which I haven't played a whole lot, but that was one of the things I really liked. Was it was like after the first like 2 missions or something, they're all just gathered in the chapel. And then the fucking
the
chaplain, he's just in the center. And he's just talking about like, we will burn and scorch like everyone who isn't us, basically. They're all filthy, disgusting Xenos.
So this is actually a thing that I had a thought about previously. So in Futurama, this seems like a tangent, but it comes back. In Futurama, Bender really loves that soap opera, All My Circuits, that's all robots.
Okay, yeah.
And the implication is that it's been on for like hundreds of years. Because Calculon's like, he's 29, I'm doing air quotes, he's 29, but like, he's been on that show for like 100 years already, and like, he has so many twins and personalities and stuff. And I mean, with Space Marines, it's got to be something similar, where you can only focus on things that are as long-lived as you at a certain point. Mm-hmm. Because otherwise, it'd be like, oh man, you remember that show? It was on for 6 years, so I'm 3,000... So it was less than a moment in a day.
Yeah.
Huh. But you know who's still around? Still kicking ass? Good old Daddy G, the Emperor!
G. Yeah. And so yeah, I really like those aspects of the game. They show like how fucking strong Space Marines are, and they also just show how much they love their Poppy. Their Poppy.
There's a scene
Emperor Poppy.
Big Poppy.
Big Poppy.
There's a scene in the game where you're like fighting, like Zinch is like breaking through and doing some portal shenanigans.
Oh yeah.
And you walk up and like the company standard is on the floor, and he's like, Titus is so offended.
Not on my watch.
Yeah, he's like, the standard, it lies on the floor like a bloody rag. And
dude,
like
that is one of the most chadliest moments in the game.
Oh yeah,
because you come in and the flag is on. They're like,
not
my flag.
Yeah.
These colors don't run, boy.
Where my country gone? Not my flag.
And he picks it up, and you just have your plasma pistol, and you're just blasting fucking what are they called?
Xandors. I love them so much. I love Evil Birdman.
Okay, and there probably is nothing to this, but I have to ask: is there any canon or lore reason? So you can do executions in the game, right? Like you beat up like a mini boss enough, and they start blinking red, and then you
get the circle button, and then Kratos can cut off their head.
Exactly. Yeah. And then you like pull their dicks off or whatever.
Yeah.
For the fucking Rubric Marines, which for all you fucking losers listening to this, those are the Space Marines of Sneech. The Rubric Marines. Losers, by that I mean if you don't play 40k, you're a fucking loser.
Dead ass. 100% endorsed. Endorsed!
So, this podcast is brought to you by...
Kevin
we're not being paid, by the way.
Kevin is just seething at me right now.
I've been called worse for better reasons.
Okay, good. So, like, Rubric Marines, they're the... kids of Magnus, right? He's their dad.
So, like, basically, Azek Araman was like, hey, how do we stop getting corrupted by Zinch corruption? Because he really likes to change us. And he's, like, making tentacle scope places. I don't want them.
And he's real
so
good.
I'm going to try to inoculate all of our dudes against that. And then he went, oopsie, anyone who wasn't a psyker got turned into fucking dust. So all the Rubric Marines were just souls trapped inside of Space Marine power armor, and they're just mindless slaves.
Okay.
That's they got Death Knights in this game?
Yeah, the sorcerers have to lead them. So Rubric Marines, every unit in the tabletop, a unit of 10 Rubric Marines, only one of them is actually sentient. It's the sorcerer.
Okay, so this game does a really good job. The executions, they have like a lot of varied executions. That's what I hated. Like the first God of War, it was like one execution.
Yeah, pretty monotonous,
right?
Yeah,
it was cutting edge at the time, but
right.
Yeah,
but so this one with the Tyranids, like. The go-to for Tyranids is just like ripping off their claws and then shoving them into the Tyranids.
Sick. Yeah.
It's pretty tight. It's pretty fucking tight.
Taste of your own medicine move. Yeah.
Like you do it with the Carnifex and you do it with the Termagant, but it's It's fucking tight.
Well, the smaller ones, he just grabs them and is like, and then like smashes them.
He's just like, like
the
Hulk
Rippers?
with Loki.
The Rippers? Yeah. Oh, I bet he's like just flailing them by their tails.
He literally just like smashes them into the floor, and it's like,
I love that.
And we're done with that.
You can just grab a gene stealer and wring him out like a sponge.
That's what. Yeah, they basically Hulk Loki him. Like remember from the first Avengers movie?
Oh yeah.
That's what he does. But okay, the Rubik Marines. Is there a canon reason why, like, there's like 2 animations for executions against these guys, and the one that I saw 95% of the time is you just tear their fucking heads off. Is there a reason for that?
You let all the soul juice.
You need your head to live.
Yeah, because then all the fucking firework goes off.
Yeah.
It's because you need your head to live.
Oh my god!
Well, they're made of dust.
Yeah, so they're ghost armor. So you're ripping the head off, and then it's letting the juju out.
I was like, because the first 3 times I was like, tight. This is ripping off fucking heads. The 5th time I was like,
he just stays.
Okay, what is going on? They couldn't think of anything else. Okay, that makes a lot of sense now.
Yeah,
I learned something today.
So one of the most heart-wrenching things. So like, Warhammer really likes the attempt to make you feel bad for war criminals. Like, they really love doing that. So, like, during the Gathering Storm...
I mean, that's the only way they can have any sympathetic characters.
Yeah, it's fair enough. But during the Gathering Storm, where, like, they're shifting into 8th edition, they did, like, the Fall of Cadia. Cadia gets blown up by Abaddon and all that.
Right, okay, hold on. Cadians are such fucking simps, dude. They're like, and, like, the whole fucking game, they're like, this tight
Cadia stands!
Yeah, like, it's like, no, it doesn't!
The fall of Cadia is the most famous thing about it.
Exactly! Oh, they're like, so we're Cadians, we don't give up that easily. No, you just fucking lose, bro!
It's only lost if we give up, brother!
You're actually probably the Emperor's greatest disappointment. Fucking Cadian.
Oh, probably man. Second. Horus is probably pretty high on the list.
Third, the number 1 disappointment to the Emperor is that stupid asshole of the Word Bearers, Lorgar. That is by far So he's the Primarch that made the Imperial cult, and the Emperor was like, "Son, I am disappointed. I actually hate you."
The guy who
and he was so miffed by this, he started all the chaos shit. He's the one who set up Horus to get the fucking demon sword. He's the one that betrayed Horus and made him go to like a near-death experience and have the Chaos Gods infect his brain with all this fucking grandeurs of delusions of grandeur.
Right.
Fucking, he's the guy who did all of that. Well, because she was like, Daddy is so cool. Daddy must be God.
Says Mario. Actually,
in his defense,
his overreaction might have been that instead of being put in timeout, the Emperor glassed the fucking planets he had converted to his religion.
I didn't know about that, but okay.
He destroyed them in front of him. It was just like, he's like, see this? This is what happens.
Yeah, you make the kid smoke the whole pack so he doesn't buy any more cigarettes.
I didn't know that.
And then,
I didn't know that.
And Lorgar was just like,
yeah, that'll do it.
I'm starting to think you're not God at all. And then you might be a dick.
God, all these alt-right fascists are like, oh, the fucking Emperor lives. It's like,
he really don't.
They're low IQ, smooth brain.
Yeah, chuds.
They don't
just
get
chuds.
it.
Yeah. That's the word we found for them. At least I recently found it on Twitter, and I've been sticking with chuds.
It makes me.
I don't like them.
Like, so because they're human, we usually default to like identifying with the Imperium. But also one of the biggest points is that Imperium bad. Imperium is not good.
So bad.
Yeah.
The biggest argument, I even posted this on Twitter. The only argument you'll give me is that pre-heresy, the Emperor did try to make a slice of like logic and reason. Like, we handle things based on what is the most logical outcome, what is the most reasonable thing to do right now. And all of that felt, and he still hired dudes who skin you alive. That's probably proper procedure.
Well, Tony,
the Night Lords literally skin people alive. That's like fucking their go-to.
What is the most logical reaction to finding out there's not only one Cthulhu, there are thousands of them on the edges of space, but more pressing than that, there are 4 also Cthulhus who each have their own Ninja Turtles color that are specifically trying to fuck you up. And the only answer that you can particularly come up with is making some incredible Hulks with guns.
You know what you don't do though? You don't blow up your kid's planets in front of him, thinking that like, yeah, he'll totally still love me after this.
Being a dad's really hard. Man.
It is. It's tough. You got to make split-second decisions, and sometimes that split-second decisions destroy entire planet. God,
no, but going on with your Cthulhu analogy, that's like the only other thing I'll give you is that like when bugs are coming to eat the planet, okay, maybe civil liberties take a back burner to pragmatism, but that's the only argument you'll get out of me. It doesn't make the Imperium good. It just makes it pragmatic, which is usually problematic.
Yeah.
Interesting piece of lore I learned the other day. Evidently, there was in some relatively recent piece of lore, there was confirmation that there were Tyranids frozen on Holy Terra already.
Well, there you fucking go.
They were already
terrifying.
Yeah, they've been around since even before first. That was one of the Kane books. Was that they went to an ice world and then oopsie, we crashed our ship and it melted a huge chunk of ice and then something's swimming in the water now.
How are Tyranids here?
Yeah, there was just Tyranids frozen in the ice.
What's that, Dad?
Oh, it's the hive mind, son. You don't pay
and this strain...
Well, it can't be a Tyranid because we know when Tyranids show up and they're nowhere near here. They couldn't be here. And then everyone gets eaten. And
that strain of Tyranid too predated like first contact of like when Imperium encountered them by like a couple thousand years or something. So they've just been around for fucking forever.
One of my favorite theories that has yet to be confirmed is that the old ones are the Tyranids to reset the universe. They were like, yeah, we fucked up pretty hard, so we're literally going to turn all the biomass into one big cult and then reset it.
That makes total sense.
Yeah,
though.
just wipe everything clean.
Yeah.
I choose to believe
we fucked up hard.
I choose to believe the Devil Man answer, where the Tyranids are what destroyed the dinosaurs.
Yeah.
So in Devil Man, like the reason that the dinosaurs left Earth, despite the fact that Devil Man exists in a setting where God's definitely real, Lucifer's definitely real, and they come to Earth on occasion, the dinosaurs still existed, and how did they die? Well, obviously Lucifer taught all the demons how to phase into other creatures, and then they fused into dinosaurs, and then eventually they all got together, lined up in two big lines, and everyone killed each other.
There you go.
Of course.
There you go. The most simple, straightforward answer.
Middle. He has a weird gay relationship in a nightclub. There's a shooting. Fantastic series from the 60s or 70s or whatever.
What's it called?
Devil Man.
Devil Man is some dark shit.
Devil Man is like
My man has some problems.
Originator of like Berserk and all the dark fantasy tropes that we have from anime and manga. Like, just Devil Man started it pretty much.
Big weeb right here. Massive weeb. So, massive normie. I know. I tried listening to some of the pod before, and I was just like, dude, these guys are on another level, and I'm loving it.
Yeah, man.
I'm loving the deep power cuts.
Yeah, so that's
power nerd.
That's what it means to be a wizard. You know, that's why this is first and foremost a wizard podcast.
The secret knowledge.
The deep knowledge.
We were talking about something before we got derailed on
Space Marine, Imperial
Guard or Simps. Cadians are failures.
Quick on just being on how Space Marines are just Giga Chads, and Titus in particular is if you're not like familiar with it, it might not have like clicked, but Titus got turned into a Primaris.
When?
So that's after the mission where he gets like fucked up, like in the very beginning, that's like to save him.
Turned into a Primaris. I thought you meant Primarch.
No.
Primaris. Yeah, he gets turned into Primaris.
And like I didn't catch on to it until like later on in the game. It was just like that was like 2 days ago. And then they just put him back in the field, and then the other Space Marines even comment on it because he like collapses at one point, and then you wake up and they're just like out. Your bros are like chilling outside talking. They're just like, it's only been like 3 days.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Why would they like? Why would they put him back in the field so fast?
Both of his arms are like 2 feet further away from his head. He has no concept of like hand-eye coordination.
Yeah, and then you walk back out and you're just like, I'm fine. Let's get back to the mission.
Hell yeah.
Titus is like the epitome of toxic masculinity. He's clearly being at one point in the game. There's like this artifact, and he's clearly being impacted by chaos. And they're like, "Brother, you want to tell us something?" And he's like, "Suck my dick, I'm fine." It's like you just passed out because of warp power. Like, yeah, it's
normally if we even see ridiculous. Warp power, we have to kill everyone.
I did think it was a good touch that the chaplain is just the guy that ratted you out in the last game.
Yeah.
That is such an excellent touch, because he's still like, I got my eye on you, you fucking fuck.
He confronts you several times.
Yeah, of course he does.
He's just like, your faith must be strong, brother. And you're just like, my faith is fucking strong. What do you know? Like,
what do you know, nerd?
Chaplains
Bald ass bitch.
Chaplains in in Space Marine armies are just like fucking hallway safety patrols in high school.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not telling you.
That's what they're like in real life too.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, yeah, we were talking about this on one of the other episodes. There is a book called Hell's Reach. It is one of the Space Marine novels, and it
What
highlights
did you do, Kevin?
I dropped my phone.
God.
Like a damn fool.
Ruined
just
entire pod.
despicable.
All right, from the top, everybody. I hope you all got that memorized.
And here we go. Ready? Vince McMahon. I don't know.
Yeah, but yeah, no. So Grimaldus, it's about Black Templars and Chaplain Grimaldus, and this man is the biggest emo kid I have ever had the pleasure of reading about, but also a Space Marine.
Love it.
He is so bitchy and whiny and just mad about the dumbest shit. And I think we talked about this in the previous episode.
in it.
Yeah, it is moldy. Grimoldus. But basically, like, these salamanders show up, and salamanders, pretty cool guys.
Like, hey, brother, how you doing, man?
No, but they're usually about saving civilians and like doing the right thing. Like they're pretty chill compared to like the Black Templars, who are Deus Vult to a fault.
Right.
Like salamanders are pretty cool guys.
Or any number of the red armored guys who just drink.
Literally eat people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
sometimes.
only sometimes.
But they save more than they eat.
No, but yeah, so like they're fighting some orcs and they break the orcs. And Grimaldus is like, oh, we have to charge after them and slaughter them down like dogs. And the salamanders are like, we're actually going to stay here and protect the civilians so they can evacuate properly. And Grimaldus is like, you fucking pussy! Why would you do that? And like, dude, it's so bad. It's so bad. He's like, get the fuck out of my city. Like,
I thought you guys were cool.
Literally, that sound like Vince McMahon as a Space Marine. He's like,
yeah! Toxic masculinity to a fault, dude.
Vince,
get out there and kill him, you fucking idiot!
I think Vince McMahon is like he's sort of like an ever chosen style of individual. He'd fall to all four of the Chaos Gods,
favored by all of them
at the same damn time.
You know, the one you would have to convince me on until recently was Nurgle, but he's shitting on people's chests.
Yeah.
That's some Nurgle shit if I ever heard it. God damn.
Okay, yeah.
Tzeentch and Nurgle probably have like a good deal of like wiggle room in that Venn diagram, and they don't get along with that at all.
Well, you know, Tzeentch, because Tzeentch is the changer, and he done changed the game. So I will give him that.
Yeah.
Like, but the Nurgle one, like, I never considered him to be low hygiene or like disgusting in any like traditionally like gross Nurgling fly fucking way. But
Yeah, we see that the way they
shitting on
walk.
girls' chest, that'll do it.
I'm gonna take a dump on your fucking chest!
That'll fucking do it.
And we don't even have
Okay.
to take even a moment to explain why Slanesh and Korn.
Oh, brother.
Oh,
It goes without saying.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just,
Automatic. Default.
so let's get real racist right now.
Oh my
No.
god.
So, okay.
That's right. I've been waiting to tell you this, Mario, for a while.
Mario starts salivating. Yeah, let's say it. No. This man did say it on TV once, by the way.
Why did he do that?
He did it like on a Monday Night Raw back in the Attitude Era.
Well, he was the bad guy.
You know what? He's like,
He said it to Booker T.
what?
I don't know who Booker T is.
He's a black guy. He's a black wrestler.
That does check out then
Yeah.
for this being
God
outrageous.
bless! I didn't know this.
Yeah, dude, it stunned, it shocked the world. Okay, anyways, okay, I know. So salamanders are a bunch of black guy Space Marines, right?
They're
like-
black
yeah.
dudes.
They're like coal black though. They're
Yeah,
not like,
their skin gets changed by the gene seed. It becomes obsidian.
So they're black guys. And so, but they're like really black guys, right? They're like West
bless.
African. Okay,
Right. They have a
And
little
then
patois in them.
there's the white scars. And they're like the East Asian dudes, right?
Yeah, they're based on the Mongols.
They're like Genghis Khan. Okay, right.
Yeah.
So, and this is why I came to you, Tony, because I need answers to this. Are there like just regular black dudes in like the Ultramarines and stuff like that?
So
too?
they recruit from several planets, and like some of those planets have black populations. So
Okay.
all the characters being different races, that's actually supported by the
So
king.
yeah, like Ultramar has like 500 planets.
Yeah, it's
so
a whole
like,
sector. Yeah.
So like imagine just however many billions or trillions of people on there. Like
Well,
they're
you
gonna be all sorts.
Because
What you should be asking is which Space Marine chapters say you can't be which color?
which
Because-
please tell me which one.
There's probably a couple that are real
Yeah.
specific.
Yeah.
I know specifically one of my favorite things with the Blood Angels is that like their planet is like an irradiated wasteland. It's like terrible to live there. Bale. And so, like, everyone there is like basically a bunch of Fallout ghouls, just like crawling around.
Right.
And when they were going to recruit new Space Marines, like a flaming chariot just flies around the Greek myth, and like all the little ghoul people are like, it's time to prove ourselves. And so like the youths will like basically go across the ash wastes and do a whole bunch of trials and shit. And if you get chosen, they literally come down on their golden chariots and spirit you away. You drink some motherfucker's blood to get you to activate your gene seed, and they put you into a pod. And when you wake up, you're a Giga Chad Adonis with like flowing blonde hair and beautiful like Squidward chin looking half an ass. And I just think that's the funniest fucking shit.
They probably picked which race.
Yeah, that's kind of why I brought it up.
I've never seen a black blood angel.
Yeah. Not even once.
I've never seen an Asian guy. I've never even seen a mixed blood angel.
I feel like if there was a black blood angel, people would really give him a hard time. Like, that's in your blood, huh?
Yeah,
Bloods. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
He got the bad cup when he passed the trial.
Fuck! Dude.
No, that's not good.
No.
That's not a good thing. Fuck, what was I gonna say?
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Oh yeah, baby.
Daddy.
Yes, sir.
Oh, I do. This is my impression of a female anime character.
Oh yeah, let's hear it.
Horrible.
Pretty good. That was amazing. That was 10 out of 10. You know.
Not inaccurate. That's not what I'm getting at.
Okay.
Yeah. If it was inaccurate, that's what I would be saying. Just, I hated it.
Speaking of anime, so the Tau.
Oh, I have a different anime thing to hurt.
Oh yeah, well let's go with that one. Let's go with that one instead.
But it's not Warhammer.
Well, we're bring it on, bro.
All right. Well, there's a new Dragon Ball series, Tony.
Ah!
I don't like it. Well, I'm watching it.
Who is left for Goku to fight?
But
He's gonna fight God, right?
It's not.
No, now they're babies.
He's already done
Now
that
they're
several
babies
times.
again?
They just keep adding more God.
Now they're in
Like-
Dragon Ball GT babies.
Yeah, no, but yeah, it's an entirely separate like series thing where like imagine that thing that happened to Goku in GT happened to everyone, and they're all just like children now.
Yeah.
I hate it.
Yeah,
That's literally a Simpsons bit. There's literally a Simpsons bit about Watchmen babies.
Right.
Yeah.
And they just said, fuck it, now they're babies, it'll be cute. People love cute shit, don't they?
I would rather,
and they were right. I'm mad they're right. Fuck.
I would rather watch like
God
all
damn it.
5 hours of whatever the Dragon Ball Z seasons were before they led up to the fight with Frieza where they're just staring at each other than like watch Goku as a fucking baby. Like,
I
that's
just
so
fucking-
bad.
But what if it's
Man.
Goku and Vegeta and Piccolo and everyone is babies? Surely, hours, if not years of entertainment value can be had from them.
Crying, shitting their Pampers. Super Saiyan. Kamehameha.
I think Newgrounds pretty much handled all of those jokes
Yeah.
in 2005.
Dragon Ball P.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm
Wait.
not sure where they can go, but on the
Oh,
plus
do you
side,
remember the Lizard Sphere X?
I do remember Lizard Sphere. Hey,
I have successfully shoved the Lizard Spheres up my ass. Like
Every time they would switch back to the Goku XB, it was just
a different hairstyle.
He had an afro at one point. That was my favorite one.
Listeners, if you have not acquainted yourself with Lizard Sphere X, I highly recommend giving it a watch. That is one of the ones that's as old
Go
as
back
the
in
internet.
time.
Yeah, that is
Newgrounds.com.
retro.
Flash.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Things that are bad, and like we know intellectually they're bad, but they just feel good on a primal level.
Oh yeah,
Space Marines
yeah,
Definitely.
yeah.
and a fucking Saiyan charging up his chi.
The amount of black kids trying to go Super Saiyan on YouTube used to be an obsession of mine.
Dude.
Was just watching them, just like, all right, guys, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna fucking do it. Okay, you ready? And he like stands up and he's like really getting ready and he just starts, and he's like really gassing himself up. And they get to where they're like
goes
full
for it.
tilt screaming, like just roaring into the fucking camera, eyes rolling in the back of their head. And my favorite one, the guy's dad comes in and just smacks him and he's like, shut the fuck up.
My favorite was the one where the everyone online was saying like he actually did it because like he just stands up from his computer. You can't see him for most of it. He's just and then like it fucks up like he hits the camera or something, and it falls, and then like you can't see it, and then it falls again, and he's on the floor. He knocked himself unconscious doing it, but everyone's like, "Crazy son of a bitch, he did it, he made it."
Son of a bitch, he finally.
The classic is that Jaden kid.
Oh yeah.
I don't even remember this one.
Yeah, that's like the only one I've ever seen.
Is it the one where like they like actually like a whole like someone like draws over and stuff?
Yeah, no, someone did an animation for it
so
where like because at the end of it he like it finishes his screaming and then he like,
Yeah.
my name is Jaden.
Yeah.
I'm a Super Saiyan. It's like
Hell yeah, hell yeah, my man.
Oh wait, but you're about to say something about Tao.
Yes.
Oh yeah, Mech
Tao.
good. So
Mech
like
great.
one of the dialogues going on fucking Twitter, the goddamn cesspool, is there are no good guys in 40K. Like good and evil are relative, right? But as far as like upholding like American values, ain't nobody doing that in 41st millennium.
No.
But as far as like a man with a las gun trying to protect his friends and family from space bugs, it's a pretty good guy.
Yeah.
As far as like the space commies being like for the greater good, we're on the fence here. All right, a lot of the lore has them being pretty equitable and fair, but like first money equals shenanigans. I don't like that a lot.
Tower for the greater good, right?
Yeah, that's the whole thing. Is the greater good.
I don't know much about Tao.
Okay, yeah, that's their whole thing.
They're blue.
anyone who tells you they're not weebs is lying.
Dude, that's bad.
Their field rations, ramen.
Yeah.
Literally, they have a green noodle field ration.
Wait, I thought Weeb was someone like me that didn't know.
No, you're a
like
normie. A weeb is someone who believes Japanese culture to be superior.
Oh no! I take it back. Say I'm a weeb then.
I was gonna say something, but we're rolling.
I thought you were saying it ironically.
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
Definitely not.
I literally had the slash S in my mind the whole
That's
time.
how much of a fucking normie I am. Is that I thought I was a weeb.
This guy doesn't even know what weeb means.
Yeah.
This fucking loser.
And furthermore, weeb has become a pejorative term. It's leaning more towards it these days. It used to be a neutral term, but we're full fledged. I mean it pejoratively. Goddamn it.
Weeb is such a funny word because of its origin.
What's its origin?
So there was this webcomic called Perry Bible Fellowship. It's probably still up. This is fantastic, hilarious. A lot of classic jokes come from here. But one of them is just like a guy in like a boardroom or something just like says like something that like everybody then just like turns on him and then start laughing, and they pull out like a big paddle like he's getting hazed in a fraternity, and they're just chanting weeaboo, weeaboo, weeaboo. And then the joke online became that's whoever you dogpile on, and then the easiest dogpiler of all was the anime boy.
Yeah.
And so that became...
Oh, man. That all checks out. That all checks out.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, so Tao are probably closest... Tao are closest in, like, civilization, probably.
Their tactics...
Jesus, Mario!
Based.
I know.
Their tactics and how they actually approach warfare are the closest to what modern-day tactics are. Like overlapping fields of fire, like not trying to not suicide missions, trying to actually like utilize their resources intelligently instead of wave after wave of my own men. Howdy ho, lads!
So they're the only civilization, the only unified civilization that is like in their growing period.
Yeah,
8,000 years old.
Everyone else is like we've already peaked and now we're coming down.
Falling, yeah.
I said unified because I would still put orcs in that category, but orcs just do their own thing.
Orcs are the only people who are happy in the 40.
Yeah, they're just having a good time.
Based and red pilled a lot of them.
In Plague Marines, anyone Nurgle is happy because that's what Papa Nurgle does.
Well, I mean,
I think okay, hold on. Nurgle is actually the good guy in 40.
Hot take.
Because
tell that to his wife.
Yeah.
She
good old Lilith.
Who?
Lilith, so
his involuntary wife.
Yeah, his involuntary wife that he tests all his plagues on.
Oh,
so when the Eldar got fucked by their own shenanigans, like Slanesh showed up, and basically because he was made from the Eldar, they were powerless against him. So we ate all their gods, except 3. The laughing god Kegarek, the Harlequin guy, he just fucked off to the webway and was like, "Ha, eat shit, loser!
I live in the internet. I'm evil."
Yeah, exactly. Then Cain was to my understanding, the lore I remember reading was that Cain was split into a bunch or fragmented through a bunch of shards because when Slanesh went to eat him, Khorne was like, "No, he's my sparring partner now, and you can't have him." And so they basically tugged and pulled on Kane till he shattered to a million pieces. That's the Afterlife Kane comes from.
Okay.
They take one of those shards, they sacrifice a man to it, and then he becomes the Afterlife Kane.
Hot.
And then the last one that made it out was Lilith, the Eldar god of fertility and life. Because Nurgle was like basically like ugly bastard mode, being like, "Oh, she pretty girl."
Right, you want to come live with me for Lilith, eh?
Yeah, so she's basically in a birdcage, and one of the stories I remember reading is that Nurgle tests all of his deadliest plagues on her, because if they affect her, they're clearly really good. And then she gets like horrible disease and blots and stuff, but since she's a life goddess, she heals it. And then one of the other lore things is that anytime one of his like horrible plagues gets cured, it's probably her slipping out the secrets, basically, like being an inside man.
Fucking mouthy bitch. Giving away the cure to AIDS and shit.
You fucking whore!
You fucking... Okay, so aside from that minor detail, Nurgle is the good guys of 40K. Turning pain and despair into, like, joy and pleasure. Like, come on, man.
One of my favorite tidbits about Nurgle was, like, it's like a plague marine, and he's, like, going up to some guardsmen. And they like unload a clip into his gut, and he looks down and just giggles, and then just proceeds to blow them away with his bolter. Like, I was like, that's such a good bit. Like imagine, like that's true body horror, 40K horror of like, because Space Marines are already like you're fighting a god, like compared to being a regular dude, and you have a fucking like AR-15 basically, and this guy's a walking tank. But then this one, oh, guys, there's a gap in his armor. He has a weak spot. And they just unload into it, and he just giggles at you. He's like,
I imagine like the Slaanesh equivalent would like get like a bunch of holes in their stomach, and then they just put gauges in it to keep it open.
That's so
now I'm even harder to hit. There are holes in me.
Oh, no, don't shove your las gun in my stomach hole.
Oh, no.
In my, what was it? Strategically placed hole.
SPH, yeah.
See, I'm tying the fucking pods together.
See, that is actually something GW's a bunch of cowards about. Is they really
fucking cowards.
They lean away from the sex shit with
really
Slaanesh.
I mean, the Slaanesh Marines are like the noise Marines, right?
Yeah.
Well, they're they're a faction of the
It's
but it's usually when it comes up to the what are they? The Emperor's Children.
Right, that's the main fact. There's Noise Marines, Emperor's Children.
So the Noise Marines are like, they're just a sub part of the Emperor's Children.
Got it.
But it's like I read like
rubrics.
a whole series about them basically, and then like none of them were into like weird sex shit. It was all like they channeled their passions into like other stuff, like
art.
Like the Noise Marines, they were all about like making
sensations.
Yeah, making noise, and then like. One guy's whole thing was that he was gonna try every single intoxicant in the galaxy, like at least once.
All the drugs, brother.
Yeah, but like,
brother.
but not one of them was just like
I'm gonna fuck.
Like, no, because it's basically the South Park bit from Bigger, Longer, and Uncut. It's just like horrible, disgusting violence and everything, body horror. That's perfectly fine as long as there's no dicks.
Yeah, like, no titties.
Which
we're just gonna have the fucking hermaphrodite mini though. The fucking Keeper of Secrets are all like.
I love that.
But that's so that they can make references to alchemy. And they never use that for proper sex reasons.
When I first saw the current Keeper of Secrets model, my jaw dropped because they. I mean, I suppose...
Because you had a boner in the middle of the game.
I mean, sure. You know, of course,
So
obligatory.
So did the chick.
So did the guy sculpting it.
Yeah.
God damn it, another fucking nerd is beating off to the new Keeper of Secrets model.
Yeah,
there's no way that they're upset about that.
That's free marketing right there. No, but like, so I've seen like Shiva-esque, like multiple arm kind of like demon things before. Like Warcraft has a few of them. But like, no one has ever nailed it where the bottom arms are female proportions and the upper arms are male proportions. So, like, if you, like, cut out one pair of arms, it looks like a masculine character. If you cut out the other pair of arms, it looks like a feminine character. Because it's both. Because it's a sex demon. They fucking nailed it. Like, I love that fucking model.
And if you had a big black dick crown, you can turn them into alien.
Oh, hell yeah.
Xenomorphs, they have the little tiny arms and the big ones.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I've seen a dude.
And they do a lot more weird sex stuff than these losers.
Oh my god.
Xenomorphs?
Yeah, their whole thing is violation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the face huggers?
Yeah.
They
It's
just
shoving a dick down your throat. And
they
just
grape
busting.
everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's bad. It's bad juju. What a horrible IP. Well, I mean, not in like horrible quality, just horrible in like what a terrible thing to
Yeah,
live in.
exactly. It's a horror IP.
Yeah, there you go. Cosmic horror, man.
Meanwhile, these guys in their dystopian IP hardly any.
Yeah, they don't do it, man.
Even the Gene Stealers think that they're falling in love with people.
They believe.
Wait, do they really?
And the
Yeah.
Starfather. The Starfather will save us. He's coming to deliver us from our horrible lies. Meanwhile,
The deliverance is that we eat you and then we shoot your biomass into space to feed the hive.
Oh hell yeah.
yeah, they never get told that part though.
Yeah, they don't find out till the very end.
Poor guys.
No. No.
The poor guys are the people who are under the impression that their neighbor just has a weird blue kid.
You know who the poor guy really is? The girl that Vincent Mann took a shit on.
Yeah, like,
He is-
I was talking about
Although-
this the other fucking day. What compels a man to want to shit on someone's chest? I'm
And
convinced it has to be a power thing.
Okay, I'm glad
You're not getting off to the act, you're getting off to the fact that I have the power to do this.
I'm glad I've managed to derail us into the WWE and Vincent Mann. Okay, so not only
Some
that,
people say cucumbers taste better than pickles, you know?
Okay, yeah, you know? Some people do say cucumbers taste better than pickles. That's all you got. That's all you got.
after I beat Space Marine 2 and finished the Vincent Mann Netflix series at the same time,
You were changed, man.
I don't see the world the same way anymore. So Vincent Mann, going back, let's just take a little. Let's just have a little story time about Vincent Mann, okay?
Anything you can tell me, because I'm not very
All right.
learned on this.
And don't look this up.
Easy.
Because,
For my Google search.
but I swear to God, this is all true. None of this is true. I'm about to make up some shit. No, but like some things are going to be true. So, Vincent Leslie McMahon. No, it was Vincent J. McMahon or some shit like that. He grew up.
Vincent Chest Shitter McMahon.
Exactly. Funny. We didn't really. We had no idea. Except we named him Chest Shitter.
It just goes. It cuts to his interview, and he's like, "It's German."
It's German for I'm gonna fuck your wife. So he was born, and he didn't know his dad until he was like 12.
Yes.
His biological father, and then his stepfather would just like beat the shit out of him, right? But then,
Classic stepdad move.
yeah, just like I don't think you're a good stepdad unless you're beating the shit out of your stepkid.
You either have to beat them up or like get to the point where like they win the big hockey game for you, and you're like, "I'm proud of you, son."
You're fine.
And they finally call you dad.
I've seen that movie.
Yeah.
Poor guy. He's just like, God damn it! I hate beating the shit out of him, but I have to. I have to beat my stepdad. I don't want to do this anymore.
We don't have a hockey team around here. Organized sports is a travesty. I was thinking about wrestling, but everyone thinks that's boring, and that's stuck in his head forever.
Exactly.
And then,
So when he's 12, he like finally meets his real dad, and his real dad is running a wrestling promotion, going around the world and everything. No, not going around the world, going around like
The U.S.
no, not even. Like,
I mean,
I
it
think
was
just, like,
regional, right?
It was
Yeah.
all regional stuff. And so then Vince McMahon came up in the business, and it was some big love me dad energy going on in it. But also, he was like poor growing up, so he didn't want to be poor anymore. And so he was just like, what makes money? And this man would, he would sell rocks to people if that was what made him money, if that was like the smart move. Like he would just do anything he could do.
this isn't about the product for him, it's about the end.
Exactly. And so he meets Linda McMahon, his wife, who is also Trump's small business secretary of small businesses, I think.
Okay, huh.
Was that? Yeah. He meets her when they're like teenagers, right? And so, and then he's like on the road doing wrestling, and he started off as like a ringside announcer, and blah 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 blah. Fast forward, he's like, Dad, I want to take over the WWE. I want to take over the promotion. And he's like, you can't fuck. And he takes it over, and then he starts like fucking Tyrannid, hive mind, just goes out. And like you said, it was all regional. So there was like the Northeast, the Southeast, the Midwest, all that stuff. And he starts going and just like conquering each territory. And people are getting pissed off at him because he's doing this. But he's like, fuck you, it's business.
Yeah, to him it's just competition.
And also, just hearing Vince McMahon say business is like one of the, like, it turns me on so fucking hard. It's just so crisp. He's like, this is good for business. And he says business so much in this documentary. It's so good. It's good for business. It's always good. What's good for business? That's what I want for business. Yeah, so he does all that shit. And then, like, it starts as WWF. That starts getting televised late 80s. Mm-hmm. Is when that starts getting televised. And, like, immediately, like, and probably even before this, he's just trying to fuck everything that walks. You know? Just...
Well, I mean, you don't get that I can't stand being poor gene without the I need to fuck everything.
Exactly. Like, he's just a person that wants to dominate everything. Like, and outside the documentary, I'd heard rumors that, like, he sleeps for, like, 2 hours a night, and he just lifts weights. And he's, like, in his late 70s now, and he's still jacked as fuck. Like, you watch videos of him, like, coming down on his, coming down in a match or something like that. And he's wearing a suit, and it almost looks like a clown suit, but it's because he's so fucking big.
Yeah.
That, like...
It's like when you see, like, pro football players wearing a suit, and you think, like, are they fat as shit? And it's like, no, the suit needs to be cut like that because they're monsters.
Exactly, yeah. But I don't understand why he wouldn't just get... Maybe he did it for the character. He didn't get it, like, fitted, so it's, like, really loose at the feet and at the wrists.
That's probably to give him freedom of movement.
Yeah, probably that too. Yeah, you're right.
So we can always throw down. You can always fucking go down with somebody who needs to.
Exactly.
Ready to scrap.
Exactly. Always ready to get down with it. But yeah. So he started. He took over all the regions and he started banging all these people.
Started fucking.
Got swole. Started just fucking every whore. he was banging this one chick, and then like she pissed him off. So in a storyline on TV, in the middle of the ring, he was like, "Get on your fucking knees and bark like a dog," and just she did it.
Oh
and
my
it was
God.
Just like this dude. I guess he's just like a tier. He might just be a Tyrannid. He just wants to dominate and consume
insect brained
everything.
Yeah.
Everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Big insect brain. For
yeah,
sure.
Dude.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So then. It was like a couple years ago that I think the current lawsuit, because he settled so many sexual harassment lawsuits in the past,
I mean, what he did on TV right there was sexual harassment.
Right? No, yeah. Like there were like every episode ended with Vince McMahon settled 25 sexual harassment lawsuits that we talked about in this thing. This man's out of control. But he just kept doing it because he's the fucking king of the ring and no one can stop him. And so finally, this came out.
He's just a supervillain.
So
he's a real life supervillain.
I'm imagining one guy finally is like, okay, can we all chill out for a second? And then Vince McMahon just like choke slams him down and he gets right back up because, you know, it's like part of that move is that you play along with. He's like, okay, yeah, we all get it. You're very strong and we're all doing a thing. But that was... We should all go now. This is fucked.
So I was
you can't say that to people.
I was talking to Rob about this. So like, it is a very slippery slope when you characterize yourself as being a professional heel.
Yeah,
and especially when your business model is that we're gonna blend reality and truth. So he is literally specking into supervillainy.
Yeah,
he is literally like, my character is that I am the worst. I am the worst guy, but it's fun. It's just an act. Is it though?
He's like, and in the documentary, he's like, the Mr. McMahon character is just an exaggeration of my character. It's like, no,
it's an exaggeration of my crimes and things I do.
So we've recently encountered phenomena in the last 10 years or so. It might have been a little longer than that. I'm an old man now. called full meme saturation.
Yeah.
Where basically like things that used to exist in the avenue of that's funny because that's nonsense. It's a meme. That's a characterization. It's satire, if you will.
Yeah.
And then the meme becomes reality, and it is no longer a meme. It is no longer a caricature. It just is.
Christian fucks his mom.
Yeah! Oh, no!
Dark days in the kingdom.
Yeah.
Fuck!
And it was never the same.
Yeah.
It was never supposed to go
It
this
always
far.
hits hard. Every time I get reminded.
And then you look back on like the past 20 years of your life, and you think about the Attitude Era of WWE, and you're like, oh, this was happening. It reframes everything. So the current lawsuit came out a couple of years ago, and it was this girl, and I don't know. If Mr. Man wants to shit on my chest, he's got to pay me a lot more than $200,000 a year to shit on my chest. Okay.
Well, how often is he shitting?
God knows how often, but
Because if it's once and then it's a $200,000 a year job,
so
I'm pretty easy to get in contact with.
I don't know, man. He's got to be on a high protein diet.
Mr. McMahon.
But how often does he want to shit on someone's
If you-
chest?
If you want someone to shit, someone's chest to shit on, and then talk to you about Gundam Wing, come on down to the studio. We got Kevin right here waiting for you, shirt off.
You probably a lot less than 200,000 if we're being honest.
He's a big boy. He got a lot of service area to shit on.
Yeah.
That'll be a meal.
First he hired... Yeah, so the current lawsuit came out a couple years ago. This girl, I forget her fucking name.
That's for the best.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to be known for this.
Exactly. She gets hired at as like some kind of assistant of his for $100,000 a year, right? And then he starts fucking her. She's like, I'll give you $100,000 more a year. So she's getting paid $200,000 a year to just get reamed out by McMahon whenever he wants. And I think the guy's name is Laurinaitis, like John Laurinaitis, who's like the physical trainer or something like that, the physical therapist. So like, and they would just take turns just like force fucking her, and then like, yeah, and then pissing on her and taking dumps on her chest.
Jesus fucking fuck,
and so,
do you think they told her about the shitting and pissing stuff first, or did they just
no,
they break
not.
it out like in the
Absolutely
first
not.
one, and she's like, hey,
See,
hey,
but that's
hey,
the thing.
Hey,
That's the thing. I understand not everyone is some people are more naive or a little more optimistic than I am, but the second my boss is like, hey, I'm going to give you a significant pay raise if I can just start hitting that, when you reach a certain level of pay grade, you have to start wondering, okay, well, what do you mean by that? Right. Like, do you just mean like regular vanilla missionary sex, or are we talking some kinky, dirty, nasty shit?
Nope.
It has to go through your brain, right?
He's pissing on her, he's shitting on her, he's banging her. He's having the devil's three-way with him and the physical therapist, Laurinaitis, whatever the fuck his name is. And then it comes out in text messages. And this is horrible.
I didn't even like pissing shitting on it, but I thought it was funny.
This is horrible, but it also kind of cracks me the fuck up.
Oh, let's hear it.
He's fucking shoving dildos in her named after wrestlers.
No!
That'd be
How
funny.
evil do you have to be?
You take the rock now. You take the fucking rock.
Oh my god!
I take videos of that, put it in the group chat with them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I want to see the Mick Foley. I want to see the Mankind.
Are they each like differently
Guys,
shaped? And,
guys,
like,
Yes, they're different shapes.
oh my
And-
god!
What's the name of the
Different
Undertaker's
shape
little
sizes
minion?
and colors.
See, I have brought up.
What's the name of the Undertaker's
it was,
little minion
it
guy?
It was Paul Bearer.
That's what it
And he'd
was.
come out with the urn. He'd be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, the Undertaker!" He was
The Paul
the
Bearer-
funniest fucking guy ever.
Anyway, the point being, Paul Bearer vibrator would be a butt plug.
I think.
It'd be small. It'd be shaped like the urn. We get it. It has a little mustache and hairpiece.
Imagine being the man who forges Vince McMahon's wrestler dildos. Imagine being the artisan that does that, like a dwarf from like fucking.
Imagine being the
like,
Chinese
listen,
slaves who are printing those out.
No. You know he gets them custom made. He goes to a guy and he's like, "Listen,
The dong sniff.
I need
beneath the Misty Mountain.
I need a Triple H, and I need
I'm imagining.
I need the Miz." And he's like, Mr. McMahon, say no more.
I'm imagining that it's the scene from the Lord of the Rings where the dwarves are like forging.
That's what I'm saying.
They
man.
raise the molten piece of metal up, and the two giant hammers smash into it.
But it's a dildo.
Yeah.
No, it's some Italian guy. He's like, Mr. McMahon, anything for you.
Hey, Mario's Italian, so maybe cool it on that.
It's fine.
I'm just fucking with you. I didn't expect that beat of silence. I'm sorry.
Your inflection was dead. I was like, God damn.
I would have walked out right now if Mario was a goddamn Itai.
I am, but
I guess I'll finish the rest of the episode and then be on my way.
God bless.
Yeah.
This was all a trap.
I had mentioned in this podcast before. That I no longer wish to date a woman that owns no less than 3 dildos. Right? I feel like that's just a must for me. Like, if you don't want to talk about your dildo collection with me, if we can't have a giggle about it and talk about it and, explain to me, like, which one, why do you like it for each occasion, then you're boring and I don't want to be with you. But, that being said, I have never once thought a man would have dildos for all of his employees.
It's like
that is deranged.
Okay, and
that'd be a good groomsman gift for the group. You go on your bachelor party.
What do you mean by this?
So you get gifts for your groomsmen and stuff for your bachelor party, and and everybody's, you're all friends, and
I know I'm not the only guy who likes to cuck himself with
you guys
dildos that he names after his employees. So
you guys probably wonder why I had you all do the dick molds. But I've got a big surprise you guys are gonna like. I went a little bit. I gave you all a little bit extra. Don't you worry.
Give me a little bit of extra girth.
Yeah. Trade if you want, but
so he not only is he like. Also, can you just imagine? He's like, open wide. Here comes the Undertaker. Like, and he's holding it and coming through it. And she's like, ooh, my favorite. No, I
play
don't know.
the theme music.
I just can't
Dong.
Yeah.
To me, it's like the fucking cleric beast music starts playing from Bloodborne, like dum 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 dum
Exactly.
dum dum dum.
Exactly.
The strobes start going. Fog machine.
Like, that's a horror thing you're describing.
The guy who plays the Undertaker, because he's not like that in real life. He wears regular clothes. He's just looking at his phone like, Vince.
He's like, goddamn, goddamn. And so the Undertaker in the ring, he's like, rest in pieces. And then in real life, he's like, well, goddamn, Vince. But no, so
Vince, this doesn't seem workplace appropriate.
He's shoving these things that he's like his little collection. Okay, also he has the collection.
That's right. Yeah,
that's his collection.
Yeah,
that he got him all by his big boy self. He swiped his card and said, "I want this one. I'm gonna bring it home."
He had the dwarves craft on the Misty Mountain.
He's driving home and it's like in the passenger seat. He's like patting it. He's like, "I'm gonna call you Dwayne."
They ask him if he wants the discreet bag.
Yeah, he's like
no.
The
brown paper, and he's like, no, you'll give me the neon pink one.
I'm not a fucking pussy. So he's doing that, and then
what a
also
nightmare.
she released text messages saying from him, he's like, you're gonna fuck who I want you to fuck when I want you to fuck them. Like, he passed her around to wrestlers too, and Brock Lesnar has not made a comment, but it's very heavily implied in like Brock Lesnar's contract and other messages that he was like one of the wrestlers that Vince McMahon was like, he's like, she'll do anything you want. Yeah.
God, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, another part of this is you have to think there's a certain number of wrestlers that are just like aiding, abetting, they're perpetrators.
Oh, yeah.
But there's also probably some wrestlers who are like, I don't want to fuck Vince McMahon, shit girl. It's awkward. I have a wife.
Oh, do I have to fuck the shit girl?
Like, I never...
You'll do it and you'll like it.
Yeah!
Come on, what are you, a pussy?
And you'll do it with this, as he hands him the briefcase full of
named it
dildos.
after you.
Fine, if you don't want to fuck her, then maybe you'll fuck her with this.
Imagine double teaming a woman with a dildo named after you.
While you apologize.
What a fucking Faustian nightmare.
Yeah, you'll either love it or you hate it.
Yeah.
God, dude.
God,
like,
what if you're all apologetic and then you start to get into it and then you're like, well, I guess I'm going to be
I'm a shame king? Yeah, that's it. We're evil now. There's no going back. Yeah. Fuck, dude.
That's who I would make Vince McMahon's number 2 evil guy in the documentary, if we were able to uncover him. I would make that his like Grima Wormtongue style of man.
Yeah, exactly.
See, I never really had a heart for wrestling to begin with, and this just really solidifies my aversity to this shit.
So, things that are bad that also make me so happy, Vince McMahon, and here's the really like the evil genius like chef's kiss part of it all for him though, is that I feel like he's done such a wild, insanely good job of blending fiction and reality that it's like, this sounds so fucked up, but it's like I'm like entertained by this whole thing, which is horrible. But I feel like it's a wrestling storyline.
That's exactly what I was talking. Imagine blending, like, I'm just gonna be cartoonishly evil, but don't worry about it. It's just a bit. Wink. It's not a bit, Vince. You're actually doing these things.
Yeah.
No, but I'm doing them ironically.
Yeah, imaging
I was getting into character.
Yeah, imagine he does the walk
That's
towards her.
fucking walk.
Yeah.
And she's just crawling away horrified.
Yeah,
God,
like, do you have to do the walk? He's like, yeah, I gotta do the walk.
They talk a lot about separating the art from the artist when we see people do terrible things, and that's the one piece of art that I can definitely separate from the artist, that walk. Because that was one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
Dude, it's so trolly. It's so fucking trolly.
He got that from some wrestler back in like the 60s or 70s that would do that around the ring. He said he really liked that like pompous like way, and so that's where he ripped it from. But
Yeah.
it's so weird thinking about that and like wrestling being like art and them being artists. You know what I'm saying? But like they are?
Yeah, technically, you know.
I mean, they are, like, they're participating in human art, and human art by like its most like very bottom of the barrel, like, what does something need to be art, and it needs intentionality to it. It counts.
Yeah.
And sometimes art leads to weird shit like dudes shitting on your chest.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's also part of it is they destroy themselves, which is just horrible.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
They're all roided out monsters and have
Yeah.
shortened their lives by decades by doing that.
That's the part that always tickled me. So, like, okay, I'm probably gonna get punched in the face by like a random drive-byer man, just gonna choke me out real quick. I have always had a bone to pick to dudes that inject testosterone to get more jacked. Because you're not doing yourself any services besides getting additional muscle, which, if you weren't so bitch-made, you could do anyway.
Dude,
fuck you.
It's like, it's a very specific kind of like body dysmorphia.
That's what I'm saying. You are a sick person. What you're doing is sick.
I mean, I will never stop bringing it up because I think it's very funny. There's the bodybuilder's only resort that's built to 70% scale.
Yeah, man.
It's an entire village that's at 70% scale so that you're too big to fit through doors because you're so jacked and gigantic.
I'm huge.
I'm huge.
These guys are all just closet 40K nerds, and they all want to be Space Marine, and when they inject themselves, they're like, oh yeah, the fucking gene seed, yeah!
So they're all just seething over seeing Cavill.
Yeah. They're just, just beat off to Cavill.
Part of what, like, blows my mind, I only learned this recently, like, so the whole point of your balls is to create seed to make babies and then also give you testosterone to make you big, right?
Yeah.
So when you inject a lot of testosterone, your balls can shrivel up.
Yeah.
You can literally lose your manhood because you're so insecure about your manhood. Like,
But the biceps, Tony.
I just can't tolerate that.
Okay.
I just fucking hate that. That's such a disgusting concept to me that, like, I need my biceps to be like a centimeter bigger, so I'm gonna let my balls shrivel up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let my heart explode, and I'm gonna shave a decade off my life. Like, fuck you! What the fuck you doing?
Which brings
it's not hard, Tony. You're not hard. Yeah, sure, man.
Which
I don't
brings
give
us
a
full
fuck.
circle
I'll outlive you.
To everyone's favorite subject, Baki.
Breathe.
Fuck! I hate Baki.
Baki?
Baki. So
What is Baki?
So it's a series that started in the late 80s, early 90s.
Okay.
It brings so much pain.
It hurts me so much.
I want Kevin to teach a class, because this is like, I feel like I'm sitting in like a Nova class right now, and he's like, all right, Baki, it's this anime. It was in the late 70s, early 90s.
Well, it's still going now.
Are you familiar with
excellent.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure at all?
I've heard the name, and I've heard Tony and Austin jerk off about it.
Well, they share a similar sort of madness to them.
Yeah.
These two IPs.
Yeah.
JoJo's is for boys who want to kiss boys. Baki is for men who want to fuck men.
Yes. And so JoJo's is just really weird and bizarre, and there's a lot of magic shenanigans, basically. Baki is like, take that same concept, but it's martial arts.
Yeah.
And then you can just do inhuman things if you're just good enough at karate.
Dude, what's better than martial arts?
Part of the premise of
Baki.
it.
Yeah, exactly.
Part of the premise of
the
it.
whole premise
is Baki's dad is the strongest creature in the world. He's so strong that the United States government said that we're going to make a deal. You work for us, and down to the president, everyone says we won't fuck with you. And the guy who makes Baki is a fucking maniac. So he will interrupt the plot that's going on in the manga, because this has been going on for years and years and years and years. Wow. And he will interrupt the plot. It'll go from like Baki being like, I don't know if my karate's good enough, into the next chapter is like, and this is Baki's dad going to meet President-elect George W. Bush or Barack Obama. And then they take a chapter to be like, the president's very scared of this extremely muscular Japanese man. They piss their pants and they sign away that they will never be mean to Baki's dad. He gets hit by lightning once, and they show his skeleton like he's a Looney Tune, and he keeps walking.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that one.
It's actually plot relevant.
Oh my god!
Because they see his karate skeleton, and it teaches one of the karate doctors about how the real peaks of human existence work. And it's madness. Baki is madness. But importantly, Baki has a half-brother, a guy named Jack. Jack, his entire character is he wants to kill his dad because he his mom. And to do that, he started working out.
Oh, I hate my dad. He makes me do math. Yeah, I hate my dad too. He my mom. What?
Yeah, in Vietnam, she was Canadian Special Forces, and she rescued him, and he decided to her about it. Baki's dad's fucked up. He's the bad guy. So anyway, he's like, I have to beat up that guy. So he starts training in the gym for like 20 hours a day, which he'll recognize as being a thing that kills you.
Right.
So he's nearly dead. He's skinny as a rail, just dripping in sweat. His workout routine's not going well at all. Until an evil scientist is like, you need somebody who's willing to support you through 20 hours daily exercise. Here are future steroids that I invented that will kill you. And he's like, but will it make me bigger? And the doctor's like, you got it. And so when he shows up, he's like 6 feet tall and like 400 pounds of muscle. And then like over the course of the series, he continues to do dangerous drugs and get experimental surgeries. So at this point in the series, he is 8.5 feet tall and like 600 pounds.
Baki is the emperor.
That's Baki's...
Everything's a prequel to 40K.
That's Baki's brother. Okay. Baki is 5'4" and like 100 pounds, and he whips everyone in the world's ass except his dad.
I hate Baki.
Dude, everything is just a prequel to 40K.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
Yeah,
he's God Emperor of Mankind.
Yeah,
he's like, martial arts is cool.
I just toxic masculinity to a fault. Like people, I don't know, man. I can't do Baki. I don't understand it. I don't get it.
Yeah.
And I just get angry when I look at it. I'm like, this is just disgusting.
It's also, the art is also something special because this man...
He doesn't know how bodies work. He's
been doing this for so long that it's sort of like when you see like Pablo Picasso's like self-portraits, it goes from like super realism to like impressionist and cubist and all the different art things that like influenced him and become less and less realism. And now apply that to a karate story exclusively about bodybuilders. So it gets real weird looking. People have legs that are as long as the rest of their body and then some.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's bananas.
Baki's dad.
So
has,
all
like,
we've been
face
talking about.
veins.
Yeah.
All we've been talking about this whole podcast has just been about fucking muscly dudes.
Yeah. What else is there?
So clearly we have some kind of latent obsession as well, which is just big old muscly men that just love. Okay, this is the playing Space Marine 2. This is the first time I really thought about it. That Space Marines are just a bunch of guys that love their dad and they love hanging out together. And how do they get new Space Marines? By sharing each other's quote-unquote gene seed. Yeah. And there's no ladies!
Not a single fucking one.
There are
Except
now.
for those lesbian Cadian women. Like, it's just a bunch of guys. And there's nothing wrong with that lifestyle. There's nothing wrong with that lifestyle. I'm just saying it's hypocritical of all these fucking fascists to be like...
They hang out.
To be hating on it. But, yeah, just a bunch of bros loving being bros, man.
So Kevin brought up the
there's
controversial. I don't think it's a big fucking deal of that. There's now female custodians.
Well, yeah.
Which I said to Kevin, it's like not the same thing. Custodians and Space Marines, not the same thing.
They're not the same thing.
Yeah.
Which is why I was surprised that I didn't see a bunch of like anti-woke like DEI shit come out when Titus's brothers were black and Asian, because I was like, oh, I didn't know Ultramar.
Somebody's mad about it.
No, people are mad about it on Twitter, and it already got squelched because Ultramar is fucking huge.
Yeah, it's 500 planets.
They recruit from like I think 100 worlds plus.
And we're past that kind of racism mostly in the 41st millennium. Now it's mostly if you're green or blue or something.
Or a goddamn space elf, you knife-eared fucks.
Yeah, or if you have like a third arm, that's gotta go, you know.
A bunch of mutants running around saying, we're gonna kill weird things. It's like, you're a fucking mutant.
Yeah, you don't... You should look in the mirror, because regular humans can't spit acid or grow to 8 feet tall and 2 hearts and 3 penises.
Wait. Do custodians fuck? Or do they go through all
it's pretty much
awesome mind?
That doesn't mean they don't fuck.
Pretty much any of the super soldiers, it's implied that like
they're sterile.
They still have their sex organs, but then like any desire to fuck or whatever is basically just like chemicaled out of you or brainwashed out of you.
That's
both.
Probably smart.
Like,
yeah.
I know the salamanders keep families, but it's more of like a platonic like I'm a family man kind of guy, so I have a family.
This is my wife's son.
This is
that sounded meaner than I meant it to.
I love that the salamanders are a bunch of black guys that have intact families. That
it's great. Yeah, talk about dark fantasy.
Super wholesome.
It's the Chud's worst nightmare. God bless.
The Brits were like, what if we just built a world that was the opposite of our world? What would that look like?
What?
Some black guys with families.
Shit, god damn it. All right, and with that, we're going to end the podcast here. Thank you so much for listening. That was a fucking doozy. And anything you guys want to voice off before we head out?
I'm Grim Tones on Instagram. I'm gonna have a bunch of like poetry and music and shit coming soon. And I love the WWE and nerd shit.
Hell yeah.
All right. Oh
no, that was it.
Oh, okay. Well, have a great night.